Kaiba has one mighty weakness. Kaiba, do you like pizza? Kaiba likes pizza. It makes him happy. You know what makes Daddy happy? DOLLARAMA Draws of Destiny! I'll just give Kaiba a little bit of pizza so that it guides him over while we do our Draws of Destiny. Not to worry, I have a wet towel beside me to wipe my hands before I go touching cards. I will not wreck any of the cards. I know some people get really nervous when I put food and other things near the cards. Understandably so, for the record. Here you go, Kaiba. You have your pizza. Thought we'd have a nice little treat for a Tuesday. Pizza lunch. Make you guys a nice video. Returning to our favorite thing on this channel. Thank you for tuning into Foundations Week last week, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Before we begin, I just noticed as I was starting that this pack kind of is already torn, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to be looking at that one first and checking to make sure there's 15 cards in it. And then we'll go through the cards themselves. But because one of them is torn, it kind of ruins the fun of opening the packs. We're going to throw in an extra pack at the end. Alright, so we'll just pull them out of the side here, I guess, since that, is easy enough. Alright. Flip that one over and we'll put it back to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, they're all there at least, so that's a good sign. Alright, we got Orzhov Guildmage, Human Wizard. Pay 2 and a white to give a person a life, or pay 2 and a black and each player loses a life. Ooh, that's interesting. Kinda like that. It only costs 2 to put into play? You go top. Goblin Bird Grabber. Pay red, this thing gains flying until end of turn. But you can only activate it if you control a creature with flying. Well, that kinda sucks. But interesting nonetheless. I'm gonna still put it top. If you put it in the right deck, that's definitely useful. Old school card. 93 to 99. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Warrior's Honor. Costs 2 and a white. That's harsh. 7th edition though. Or, no, 6th edition. Could be worth something. Probably not. We'll admit it though. Skyclave Geopede. Trample, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, this thing gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Not bad. Not super amazing unless you're playing a landfall deck. And green-red, it's definitely possible. Red on its own, not so much. Dwarven Reinforcements. Create 2/2/1 red dwarf berserker creature tokens. You can foretell this spell too. Not bad. Not bad. Glimmer of Genius. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards, and you get 2 energy. If you're playing energy, that's definitely a good card. I think I already have one of those in my energy deck. Blister Spit Gremlin. If not, actually, you know what? I'm going to put that up there. That is really useful. Even if you're not playing energy, I mean, you're still getting to scry 2 and draw 2 for 4. That's not bad. At instant speed. Blister Spit Gremlin. Gremlin creature. 1/1 for 1. Pay 1, tap it. It deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you untap it. Ooh, that's pretty nice. In the right deck, that's very useful. Brotherhood Patriarch. Assassin. When it dies, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. It's a 4/1 for 4. Temple of Plenty. First land of the day. We get to tap. It comes in tapped, but we get to scry one. Thriving Heath following that. Not as good as the tap land. Ooh, Towering Viewpoint. Defender Reach. Leap of Faith. Pay 3. Target creature gains flying until end of turn. Nice. That's a 0/4. I like that. Otherworldly Escort. Flash. When this thing dies, if it's not a spirit, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. With 4 charge counters on it, it's a spirit detective. Pay 1 and white, remove a charge counter from this thing, destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. Ooh. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, that goes to the top. When this thing enters the battlefield, you create a 1/1 white human creature token. For 4 for 3/3, it's okay. Merfolk Spy. Ooh, it's a Merfolk Rogue with Island Walk. Nice. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player reveals a card at random from their hand. Ooh, very nice. I'm not sure if I want to put that in my Merfolk deck or my Road deck. Both of them need to get a touch up at some point in the near future. Aerial Guide, Flying Drake, 2/2 for 3. Whenever it attacks another target creature, another target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. You know what? We'll put that there. That's pretty good. Doing good, Kaiba? Yeah? You happy, bug? Yeah. Can I open one more pack before I give you more pizza? Yes, I know. It's very good, isn't it? You get to have one more. Alright, pack number 2 coming at you. First one we get to actually rip. Flip that. Go through here. It's the first time I've ever actually counted the cards. I never really thought to count and see if they're actually including all the cards. Maybe some packs have less, some packs have more. Who knows? Seized from Slumber. Instant spell costs 3 less if it targets a tapped creature, destroy a target creature. Not bad. From Duskmorn. Ooh, a Vampire Clerk. Whenever another cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this thing. Nice. That's definitely got a home in the right deck for me. Destroy target land. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. That one's not bad. I've definitely pulled that before. I definitely like that one. It's the destroying the land thing that feels kind of mean, but some players deserve it, depending on what they're playing. As an additional cost to cast this spell, tap an untapped artifact or pay 1, counter target spell for 2 blue. Pretty good instant. Undead Gladiator. Ooh. Zombie Barbarian, sorry. Pay 1 black, discard a card, return this thing from your graveyard to your hand. But you can only do it during your upkeep. Not bad. You can cycle it. So basically you can keep, if you wanted to, you could in theory discard 2 cards, draw 1 card, using this thing each turn. In theory. Or it's a 3/1. Either way, not bad. Oh, somehow that didn't get... I thought that I flipped everything, but I guess I missed that one. Sorcerer of the Fang. Human Wizard, 1/3. Pay 5 and a black, tap it, deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. I don't think I'm going to do that. That's probably going to go to the bottom. Sphinx of the Revelation. Artifact creature, Sphinx, flying, lifelink. Whenever you gain life, you get that much energy. I'm sure I must already have this in my energy deck, but if not, that's really solid. And if so, I can still put that into another deck and just make a bunch of energy for drawing cards, which is pretty cool. Ooh, Sea Monster. Old school? Checking 97. 97, nice. Woo. Cannot attack unless defending player controls any islands. So it's a 6/6, but it's basically just going to sit there and block unless somebody has an island. Twin Shot Sniper, Goblin Archer Reach. When this thing enters the battlefield, deals 2 damage to any target. And you can channel it to deal 2 damage to any target. Channel cost is 1 in a red versus 3 in a red to put into play. So, solid card either way. Hitting Grotto, nice. When it enters, you get to surveil, you get to tap for 1 colorless, or you can pay 1 to tap for any mana. The more of those I pull, the better it is for my 5-color decks. Ooh, nice. The Retro Factor Fiction. Always nice to pull more of those. Can never have enough of those for blue decks. Blade Walker Ritualist. 3/3 Changeling. Whenever another creature with this name... well, that's not happening. Good card for Modern, not for me. I'm going to put the Sliver to the bottom too because I don't play Slivers. We got a Pileated? I'm going to go with Pileated Provisioner. Flying 3/4 for 5. When it enters, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control without flying. Not bad. Fires of Victory. 2 to play, kicker 2 in a blue. So with kicked, you draw a card. Then it deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to number of cards in your hand. Nice. That's a good instant. Whoop. Draw to pack number 3. That's gotta be bad luck. Hopefully not, but we'll give it a little rub and a pat. See if we can taint that fumble away. Take that fumble away. Alright. Kind of seems to have moved on to treats on the bed that he left there from earlier this morning, so I will just quickly switch this stuff around, and it looks like we're going to get a double-sided card, which is pretty nice. Alright, let's see what we pulled. Weaponize the monsters. Pay 2, sacrifice a creature, weaponize the monsters, deal 2 damage to any target. Only costs 1 to put into play. It's definitely an enchantment I will use. Gear up her Aether Grid. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. This thing deals 1 damage to target creature or player. That one isn't as good. It's okay, but it's not as good unless you're getting a ton of tokens. So I'll admit it. Draw 3 cards if you control no artifacts. Discard a card. That one's not bad for 5. Ulamog's Reclaimer. What in the heck is this thing? When it enters the battlefield, you may put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Huh. 4 and a blue for a 2/5. That's an interesting one. I'm going to top that. What the heck? Why not? Oh, we messed that up. Rally to battle. Creatures you control get +1/+3 until end of turn, and you untap them for 4. Not bad. A little expensive, but not bad. That is actually a werewolf I already own, and it's actually one I kind of like. So it's in my deck already. As you guys seen on the weekend if you tuned in. Tangleclaw Werewolf can block multiple creatures in a turn. 2, exactly. And its other side can do the same thing, but it's also vigilant and has to be blocked if able. Definitely a solid card. I might be able to put into another green deck or something like that. I don't know, but still a top card. And legendary! Whoop, 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 whoop. Plus it's a new legendary. I've never pulled that one before. The Council of 4. 0/8. Whenever a player draws their second card during their turn, I get to draw. Whenever a player casts their second spell during a turn, I create a 2/2 white knight creature token. That almost seems like it should go in Bumble Flower, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe I'll build another deck around that or something. That is really cool. We definitely got our legendary of the day, though, and we are excited for that. The streak continues, my friends. Sensory Deprivation. Enchanted creature gets -3/-0. That's okay. Actually, how much did that cost? It only costs 1. If it had Flash and I'd put it up top, I'm going to put it down. Cartouche of Zeal. Enchant creature you control. When this enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn. And enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has haste. I like it. Ooh, SWAT. That looks like it's old. 99. Destroy target creature with power 2 or less, and it has cycling 2. For an instant for 3, I like it. See Beyond. Draw 2 cards and shuffle a card from your hand into your library. Okay. That's a really useful one. Sorcery speed, unfortunately, but still useful. Cannel Monitor. Just a generic 5/3 lizard that apparently... Okay, what the heck? The first goblin tried to swim the canal. The second goblin built a raft. The last and craftiest goblin launched herself from a fire cannon and soared over the canal, trailing smoke. All were eaten, but only one was cooked. Huh. Okay. I don't get that. Gold Medal Dodger. Kithkin Rogue. 1 for a 1/1. Can't be blocked by creatures of power 4 or greater. Nice. If you beef this up, that's pretty solid. I'm going to put that there. Vampire Horror. For 4, you get a 3/3. And it has Madness 2 and a black. I'm going to admit that. Ooh, nice. We pulled an extra Path of Ancestry. Booyah! And it's the Fallout art. I think that might be actually worth a little bit more because of that. Not that that matters. I love Path of Ancestries because they're great in tribal decks. And Kyla seems to be settling down now behind me. You're a good boy, baby. Oh, nope. Talking more treats. Alright, last pack of Destiny. I'm really excited about this legendary, actually. That's really cool. I don't know what deck I want to put that in. There's so many different decks I could put it into. Commander Party would be really interesting with that, too. But I don't make people draw cards in that deck. So the only one that I actually force people to draw a lot of cards in is Bumbleflower. That's the reason why I considered it first. Now that said, I could definitely build a deck that involves a lot of drawing cards just around that as the commander, and that would be cool too. But let me know in the comments. You guys, some of you guys are pretty solid experts on Bumbleflower. What do you think you should do with that? Should that go in Bumbleflower? Alright, speaking of Bloomburrow, we got a Tree Guard Duo. When it enters until end of turn, target creature gets Vigilance and +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures you control. Definitely one of the awesome ones to play. I often forget that I have a bunch of copies of this. I should put this into my green deck. Top that. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it for the effects that it has. Sandsteep Secluded, not my favorite land. Voracious Varmint. It's a varmint, instead of it being a rat, which is weird. Vigilance. Pay 1, sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. I do like that effect, though. Definitely a good effect. Cankerbloom is another one that has a solid effect like that. Oh, before we go on. Sacrifice it, choose to destroy artifact, enchantment, or proliferate. Rabbit Soldier. Bloomburrow Guard Mentor. Another Bloomburrow card, and one I haven't pulled before. Power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Ooh. I'm not sure which deck I want to put that in, but that's a solid pull. On your paws! I've been fighting in these fields for more seasons than you've had hot dinners. I like that. It's too bad he's not legendary. He should be legendary. I'm going to tuck him beside the legendary because I think that's my favorite card of the day, to be honest. Ash Burns? I like that more than the Council of 4 even, I think. Ooh, Poison Blade Mentor. 2 for a 2/1 with Death Touch. Whenever it attacks, another target assassin you control gains Death Touch until end of turn. I do not have enough assassins to make that worthwhile. But it is still an awesome card. I'm still going to put it up top because that's way too good not to be. Reckless Airstrike. Deals 3 damage to target creature with flying or destroy an artifact. For 1 at sorcery speed, still, that's not bad. Woo! Second legendary of the day! A call, first among equals. Oh, I already have a copy of this, but it's a different version of the art, and it's a holo, but still, nice to pull a second one. At the beginning of each player's end step, if an artifact enters the battlefield under my control, I get to look at the top 2 cards of my library, put one into my hand and the other into my graveyard. Pretty solid guy to pull with the Council of 4. Those two could go together really nicely, actually, in a deck. Cavern Whisperer. I already have a couple copies of this. I do love this card, though. Solid to give something menace by mutating onto it. The only downside is Mutate is really good in a deck about Mutate. Otherwise, it kind of sucks, because you don't have enough creatures with Mutate on the field, or in your deck, I mean. Grig's Pack Leader. Whenever another creature you control with power 3 or greater enters the battlefield, you can draw a card. Ooh, I like that. Another Poison Blade Mentor. Well, that'd be great if I was playing Modern. At least I'd have 2 copies. I'm still going to put it up top because it's still amazing. Spore Swarm. Create 3 Saberlings at instant speed for 4. That's amazing as blockers. Mystic Monastery. Nice. And we end on a Gift of the Gargantua. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Deal a creature and or land. Put those cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in any order. For 3 at sorcery speed, that's pretty damn solid. I'm still going to say that this is my favorite card of the day. And I'm going to zoom in on it and give you guys a shot of the art as we go to the end. Oh. Okay, fine. I have somebody who wants to make an appearance. And then he changed his mind. Puggies. So silly. Yes, I talk about you. Daddy, I love you. And I love all you guys too. Much love to you all from me. You take care. Have a great week, guys. Bye.